Yeah, absolutely. And wrote it.
Oh man, I love it, man. I love it. I saw a teaser a while ago with you and OG Daniel walking, and the way the screen looked and the cinematography, man. You gotta teach me those tricks one day, man. I love it.
Oh, definitely. Can you show us your cufflinks?
Oh, there's my brother.
These are the red joints, man. I just got off the floor. We've been voting tonight on the Intel bill. These are the red joints. You got the white joints, the exclusive, man.
Ooh, you got the Louboutin, the red bottoms?
Yeah, we got to hook Bishop up with some, you know.
Oh.
Get it right. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
That's official.
Yeah. We got you, OG. We got you too, man.
I was about to say, we're gonna have to get you on one of the episodes, Senator. We gotta get the Senator one of the episodes, Dave. Let him cop somebody's head off.
Absolutely.
Don't have me on no Pee Wee Herman, though, man. I gotta go hard with it.
I got you. You know,
remember Dame had the mayor from the town we was in honor of?
Oh
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I was smoking with the mayor. That was great. We had a ball. He's actually in honor up. Hey, Blackface, you look like Daniel's little brother. let me find out, Daniel. That's your little brother.
Yeah. I'm about to get rid of my bed. This quarantine look is about to come to an end. I'm gonna turn into OG Handsome on you, boy. The hot man. But you know what I really like though, Dame? One of the most intriguing things about the whole episode was like, I can't wait to see the next one because, you know, it made me really want to see what's about to happen next. And I was kind of upset it was over. So that's a good thing, the anticipation, you know?
Well, the thing about it is, I think in this day and age, people's attention spans, sometimes you can't hold them for more than 22 minutes. It takes me about 4 sittings to watch a movie. So I try to give it to you in 22 minutes, like sample, get you addicted, and then you're going to come back for more. But it also challenges me, because honestly, can we turn somebody got to turn, they got like an AM radio on. How come I can't see me?
Nah, that was official though. That's what I like because I'm thinking, you know, not only me but a lot of other people probably waiting to see that next episode will look crazy. Like somebody said, his homie this old girl gonna kill homie moms and all that. I'm like, yeah, this shit is heating up already. Episode 3, I can't wait.
Well, if you could get back out here, we could shoot episode 4. Because I got episode 4 written, and you know I'm excited. Again, I like making the clothes. I love making the music, and it's like my therapy. You know, this is my art. Also, I can't expect anyone to do something that I wouldn't do myself. So this is me leading by example. This is me saying, Congressman, make your movie, star in it. Bishop, make your movie, star in it. OG Daniel, make your movie, star in it. Oh, we got the Senator Eddie Milton in the building. Senator, where you at? We don't want to see the GQ picture. Where you at, though, Senator?
I'm gonna hit just real quick. I'm about to get my camera set up.
Okay.
And to be fair, I would have been the only white girl, like, but.
Wait, say that again. I didn't hear you. Whose dog face is that?
That's the congressman.
Oh, it's the congressman? So, anyone else want to say something? The forum is open. I love talking to y'all.
Richard, are you on
Wait, let me try to mute the thing. Let me try to mute. Somebody got their TV on? All right. All right, there you go.
I'm curious to know when Fleetwood is going to go to meet his daughter's boyfriend. I was waiting to see if you guys were going to go interact with him together. Especially because in the opening scene, you like real adamant that you hard body. So I'm curious to know whether or not you're going to walk up on her boyfriend and let him know who you are.
Well, in this moment, it all depends on accessibility. Like, I don't know if Charlie's on here. I wish he was. But if he's here, then I can shoot. Like, I have variations of scenes. Because the way I'm approaching it is no chronological order. Just episodes. I set up the characters. You know my daughter. She has her episode. Raquel's going to have her episode. Oh, that's Daru? What's up, Daru?
Yo, what up, dang?
One of the best drummers for the White Stripes, real rock star right there. So honestly, the episodes and the way they get shot and who's in them and the random stories, it all depends on when they're out here. Like, I've been trying to get Daniel to come out here for 5 years because I just want to take with him. Well, I'm about to shoot a zombie movie and I got a role for Daniel. If he's out here, I'm going to shoot that. I'm going to shoot an episode of Dress to Kill. I'm going to shoot episodes of OG stories. Everybody is like lightning in a bottle to me. Everybody's special. So when I get to get that time with him, that dictates what I do. Like, for example, I've known Daru for like 10 years, right? He's one of the best drummers literally on the planet, right? He was in the original Senseis, but he also plays with like Jack White, the White Stripes, like real rock and roll. I might not see him for 5 years, but when I see him, we make like an album that night.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
And then we get to hang out, talk about all the fun we've been having, have more fun, and we have something in the cut that when we can focus, we can mix it, we can tour it. But this is just friends kicking it. Profitable. Like, when your time is authentic, it's profitable. Everything we do is legendary. That's why I tape everything. Everybody on this Zoom is a legend to me. I be feeling like I'm blessed to have y'all time. Like, I be calling the bishop at like 7 in the morning just because I could call a bishop. Who wouldn't do that? It would make no sense not to have this kind of access to principals, senators, and congressmen, bishops, rock stars, supermodels, and not just talk to them and spend time with them and create and capture moments. Everything is magic. Everything is magic. I'm sorry for the lengthy answer. I just got on one. Sorry. Anyone else? Artist. You're the artist.
Yes, sir. I'm interested to know what programs are you using to edit your movies in?
Premiere.
Premiere?
Yeah, but we have Avid. We have all programs and all computers for all editors. Some editors are good at one and not the other. So
Are you hands-on in the editing?
100%. Like, I don't actually physically, but every graphic, every movement, everything was because I said so.
How many cameras do you use for every scene? Like, how many angles do you use?
In this particular instance, it was one, but in some instances, I'll use two. The zombie movie that I'm about to shoot in 14 days, I'm shooting 2 cameras. Yeah, like it's really sometimes it depends on the DP because they want to take their time. They don't want to cheat, you know. But in this moment, my agenda is to practice. You know, that was practice.
Right.
That was all. Everything you seeing, everything we doing is documented practice.
Right.
But I don't mind people watching my evolution because I know I'm going to get better. Observe it.
Mm-hmm.
My question to you is, I would love to see how artistically, painting-wise, these episodes have inspired you. So I would love for you to watch the episodes and give me 2 paintings for each episode or whatever it is. I would love to do a gallery opening that was inspired by my television show.
That's powerful. We can do that, man.
Do it, Steve, do it. Come on, Steve, do it.
We can do that.
Too much talent
Yeah,
on
I
it.
think visually you have a lot of meat in there that I could, chew on because it's very flashy. I definitely like
Oh my goodness.
Super pause.
Y'all are so silly. Oh my god.
Davis.
You know what I'm saying, man.
Bro, whatever you do, don't ever say no shit like that. He said a lot of meat for him to chew on, a lot of meat for you to chew on. I know you can't. You gotta find enough way to articulate your shit, bro.
Hey, you're funny as silly. Oh shit. Wow. These niggas got me crying.
Crazy.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah, no, but on real, we can.
I appreciate it.
Hey man, that's how he expressing himself.
Memphis Will. Please, somebody ask him some questions. Now, literally, I'm gonna say this though. Besides me, I'm not a comedian, but on stage, he's Richard Pryor funny. Period. Undisputed. I've never seen him whack on stage. Don't get gas. Off stage, we could talk. That's a whole nother story. But go ahead. Oh, Twister's in the building. Give me my man Twister. So what? Say something, bro.
Oh, like I said, I had an amazing time, man, filming Dressed to Kill. It started off another whole entire movie. It was 2 movies before it became a TV show. So just so y'all can know the history of Dressed to Kill.
Oh, here we go.
Came about. First of all, taking for a young lady here from New York.
Oh, here we go.
Another whole movie. When we started filming the movie, Dan was changing the scene so much that he was like, you know what, I don't even want to do this movie no more. I want to change it to a TV series. So he flew that young lady home. He told her he's still going to do the movie. He's just going to come back to it. So filming her movie, he let her, sent her home. But we started writing Dressed to Kill. So Dressed to Kill came out of like a small scene that would have been in another movie that Dane created. The young lady didn't write the scene. It was just, she had a scene in her movie where Dane changed it. And Dane thought about it. He changed another scene. Then he changed it. I think I want to make this a TV series instead of a movie. So,
Well, Memphis. What happened was the star of the movie did not show up, and Tori showed up.
right.
And at that point, I just called the audible because I'm a businessman and my money cannot be fucked up over one person.
Right.
And then we started shooting with Mike.
This is the director, White.
No,
White
he
Chick.
wrote it. He didn't direct it. He wrote it.
Okay. So he wrote White Chicks, a bunch of he directed a scary movie.
No, he wrote those things.
So what he did was we started filming his movie. And while we was filming his movie, Dave said, you know what? Dave said, I like some of these scenes that can be in Dressed to Kill. Different scenes from the movie and he edited it down to a sitcom. And so the moral of the story is don't take Dane a movie. Because he was definitely making a TV show.
No, the moral of the story is midway through a project, if things don't go right, I'll always be able to adjust. Period.
He adjusts. I had fun filming the movie, but when he first started talking about turning it into a TV series, I was like, well, how would he do that? Because we had already technically filmed portion of 2 episodes of Dress to Kill. And I know what Paul was filming in the movie, so I was like, how would that make sense? But due to Dane genius, he definitely edited that thing from what we already filmed to the current stuff we was filming. And when he put it together, when I tell you, man, it tells a beautiful episode, tells a beautiful story, almost like we planned. But we didn't plan it. He literally made adjustments to 2 different movies, 2 different situations, and there you go with Dress to Kill, but not Dress to Kill. It's like, what you say, Dame? I say it's like Power. It got like
It's like
right, exactly. And it's gangster because we got a lot of talented ladies that runs the show as well. So you guys will definitely enjoy it, man. So it's definitely a TV show you want to stay posted.
now. Memphis, can I ask you a question?
It's a TV show.
Memphis, do you notice that on the set, I'll be like, yo, let's shoot a video real quick, and y'all be like, what are you talking about? Did you notice at the end, I had the bonus little video with Nicolette and Charlie, people that actually starred in the episode, have music. So do you see the way that all came together as well?
Absolutely, because like I said, when we at the studios, guys, we be filming a little bit of everything, and only Dane has in his mind where he's going to put different stuff at, which we don't know at the time. Because at the time, we're just filming that particular project or working on that particular scenario. But he would do a musical show, and we'll be promoting a musical show, and we could be doing a musical show. And that musical show ended up playing a part in the movie with some of the actors that are also artists in real life. And so it all ties together. It all ties together.
I'm surprised, man. I'm surprised he ain't do the comedy joint. You know what I mean?
Oh, no. I'm about to edit up Memphis's whole, because, you know, when he was a preacher, he did a whole thing. Like, you know, I had to keep doing it over and over and over again. So I'm gonna edit that up like a comedy show. Trust me. I have so much content of Memphis. See, the one thing that's consistent, Memphis, about all these different movies, Memphis, is that you're in them. So Memphis, I'm about to send you a script to shoot in 2 weeks. I'm gonna need you to start quarantining. It's a zombie movie.
Okay.
We're gonna shoot it in 2 weeks. I sent Daniel the script. Daniel, did you read it?
Yeah, I started looking at it.
You didn't read it.
But yo, one question. Who
Yeah.
damn dog is that keep popping up on the screen?
That's me.
Oh. Dog is that?
We also did the two more projects. We did the quarantine version of comedy. Me and the other lady, she got some comedy show up as well. We did the comedy sketch show. People who like sketching, did the comedy sketch show. In the Memphis Will show, I'm interviewing different celebrities. I'm ready to turn it up a notch because I just spoke with Mike Epps. I spoke with DJ Paul, Sherry, Chef, Kimberly, and I spoke with these different people, and I told them we want to hear their background. We want to hear their story before they were successful comedians. Because I enjoy hearing a person's journey. That's one of my joys, to sit back and just hear everything that a person went through to get where they at. So that's going to get ready to start popping soon, guys, where we're going to be interviewing different celebrities and learning about their journey. So make sure y'all be looking forward to that.
Hey, Cynthia, you still on the line? Cynthia?
I'm here. Nicolette to mute Mason LaCompte.
Oh, I did.
We got it. Cynthia, can you tell everybody what you've been doing during quarantine, please? And also, Cynthia's been on the cover of Vogue several times. She's Victoria's Secret model. She also has a PhD. She also is a guest girl. I just wanted to say that. But can you?
Thank you, Damon. I love it. I love the intros. Hold on. I have my son that's going into.
She also has 3 children, and she's breastfeeding all 3 of them at the same time.
My husband's riding some motorbike, and my son thinks that he's waving him down, but he's in the street, so I got him. Yeah, no, I've been working on a comedy show. You know, I ended up shooting 46 comics in 4 weeks. So we have like 15 episodes coming with that. We also have been working on a sketch show, and we shot like 9 or 10 parts of that. I also did some fitness stuff. So we have a female fitness girl and a male fitness boy dude, and we ended up shooting that. So a lot of content coming.
Can you make the announcement about the deal we're doing with Billy Blanks?
Yeah, so Billy Blanks has a movie. If you remember, Billy Blanks was from Tybo. He has a scripted that he's bringing that's a full feature. We're going to be bringing some of his content as well. Yeah, and then probably have a little small part in the zombie movie that's coming up. So we just been working on that.
Nice.
We've been doing a lot of work, and that's only been in 5 weeks.
Exactly. Hey, Senator Eddie, can you tell everyone what we've been doing as far as what we just did with the dude that made the racist stuff and all that?
Yeah, for sure. So, what's up, everybody? It's Eddie Milton here, senator here in Indiana. What's up, Bishop? I see y'all squad in the house. What's up, Nicolette?
Hey.
Reached out to Dame on the situation probably about 2 or 3 weeks ago now. Just kind of debrief with him on some racist issues that we've had with some legislative leaders that help make state laws in the state. I was just sharing my frustrations and sharing a lot of the work that we're doing, myself and the Black Caucus, to address that issue. So Dame about that action. He was like, "What you want to do?" I'm like, "Hey, set something up." He said he called a bishop. He called the all school grounds squad, and we had a conference call. We had a Zoom. We talked about some strategies, and I mean, within less than 24 hours, folks was on it, and it was a huge response, major reaction in terms of the individual that was making these racist comments via social media, took down his social media sites, was forced to make a public apology, which he didn't want to do in the first place. And also, he was punished in terms of kicked off several of the committees that he serves on, which is Education Committee in the state of Indiana. So all of that was with the phone call, reach out to folks, say we need your help and some assistance on a national level versus just from the state. So it was extremely helpful. So much love and respect to everybody that had a part in that.
Thank you. That's real power when we stick together. Congressman.
I just want to say it's a 2-call minimum, my nigga. 1 more call. Zoom is over.
First of all, this is not your Zoom and I'm drinking, and I just drank something wrong. That's part of being a rock star. You don't understand it. No Corona.
I didn't see you like Congressman Person on the line, man.
Peace, King. Good to see you, beloved.
So, Congressman, we have a lot of good people on here, and you out there fighting every day at a federal level. Is there anything in this moment, particularly, that you would like us to address? And can you give us an update? Can you give us an update on what we should be doing, election-wise, COVID-wise? All these things. Because we have access to you.
Yeah, I think right now this police brutality big piece is huge, man, because the Fraternal Order of Police, they're upset with me right now. They're furious with me because I tweeted a few weeks ago when they killed the brother in Minneapolis that being black should be a death sentence. And they accused me of inspiring some of the activists to set up ambush against law enforcement. And nothing could be further from the truth. You know, I'm somebody who, you know, did security back in the day, was involved in law enforcement, but I've also been arrested, locked up before, and I was facing charges of battering a police officer, resisting arrest and fleeing. And the charges were eventually dropped, so I know all aspects of it. So we're dealing with police brutality, so what we want to do is create greater national oversight for police departments. So a lot of police departments have inconsistent standards as it relates to use of force. 20 years ago in the police academy, Dane, there was a theory called the 1+1 theory, which basically was if you were involved in a confrontation, you start with a verbal command, then you escalate to a baton or a taser, and the last resort would be a firearm. Now, a lot of people would argue if you're in an emergency situation, a stressful situation, it's hard to go through those steps. So they go right to the firearm. And one of the things that you'll discover in police academies, the only interaction that a lot of these recruits have with black folks has been through television. And so what we want to do is revamp the training policies and make community policing have more cultural understanding and sensitivities. And you really gotta unmask and unearth a lot of the white supremacist ideologies that are in these police departments. Police departments, as we see them, there are a lot of good police officers out there, but they're just a manifestation of what happened as an organization of slave catchers hundreds of years ago. So we're still trying to unearth a lot of the mentalities and the views against black men, and especially. Secondly, tomorrow, if they can.
Oh, man. Yo, they just stopped our Wi-Fi. We must be getting powerful. That's crazy. See how that shit happen? We must be
You
talking
want to talk
some.
to it?
We must be
You want
talking
to talk
some.
to this camera?
Now we got the congressman talking some heavy shit. All of a sudden it freezes up. What the fuck is that? What happened?
The whole thing shut down?
Yeah, it just quit itself.
Wow. The whole thing?
Because it broke the internet.
It says we broke the internet? What do you mean?
No, somebody said that.
Oh, we broke the internet. All right. Can we get this back on?
Yeah, I'm trying.
Wow, that's hot. That's heavy. Did it just erase everything?
It shouldn't, because it was recording, so it should be.
Is everybody
somewhere.
still on though?
I don't know.
Damn,
Here,
that's
let
crazy.
me.
It was about to get popping. We was talking about some real shit right there.
No.
We had congressmen, senators at the screening of Just to Kill. We had bishops, principals, and then as soon as it get heavy, while we playing the gunplay, this shit play clear. As soon as we start talking about helping shit for real, shit conk the fuck up. That's crazy. Right?
Yeah. It's no internet. Oh, how are we on internet on the phone?
Yo, can you ask your brother
Can you get
what's going
my
on in his
computer?
thing? Ask your brother what's going on in his
I'm
thing.
gonna copy. I'll just text it out.
That was getting heavy.
He was just saying it was really good conversation. This is a good idea.
Yeah, but what I want to know is what the fuck just happened? What's going on? They still talking? If they still talking, I'm good. You ask your brother?
I asked him, he's not responding.
They probably. I hope the helicopters don't start coming.
Right.
That's crazy. As soon as we start talking,
He just dropped out.
damn. Ask somebody else.
Um,
I saw Twister was on the line. Look, some saying something.
It's the network. Can't connect to our service. Please check your network.
hit update now. Okay, now continue on that.
Oh, see, it's loading. It's not even pulling up right now.
That's some bullshit. I hope they still talking. Can you ask? Who could you ask that was on your phone? if they're still talking.
Kevin says they are still on.
Good, dope, yes. I love it. So we just whack. But we got it. It's going. If they're still on, we taping it. So this is what we do, right? I get good people on the Zoom, entertain, and then we deal with issues with people that are going to be about that action. You feel me? Period. And we about to be back. Shit is real. You know what I mean? This ain't no bubblegum shit. Nobody want to hurt nobody. We just want to help. We just want to love. That's what we want to do. You feel me? Oh yeah, look, we back. All right, get it back, right? Put it back on.
And that's why when you mentioned, I started off, I'm going to keep it real. I started off a Republican. I was a Republican up until like 2014. I had to leave the Republican Party because you got to call it what it is, bro. I mean, it's a bunch of white hooded people who took the hoods off. And so even if we do need a third party, we need a party that's going to represent every American. And like I said before, when we got on the phone with Senator Eddie, look, y'all squad, say something. We have a whole marketing team, right? Now I'm not going to mention no names, but we have certain people who work for the governor of New Jersey. So I have professionals who work. We just don't work, but we pray. But I'm not going to pass down this America to my four beautiful daughters. I'm not doing it. I'm not going to be complicit with it. The time for change is now. So right now we have to bring economic change. We have to be empowered economically. You know what I'm saying? And that begins with the individual. And we have to be empowered politically to understand that, yes, if we come together, we can bring change. I was meditating when what's happening in Minneapolis. People have to understand that those Americans that are protesting, they're doing the American thing. You're supposed to publicly assemble against thugs. Okay? They did it. They started the nation because they didn't want to pay taxes. We want to start a new America because we're tired of being murdered in open daylight by a group that has been passed down since slavery. And they thought it was lawful. We got to remember, slavery was lawful. Jim Crow was lawful. And one of the highest form of elitism is the Supreme Court. That is the highest form of elitism. That nine people get to say what's right and 9 people get to say what's wrong. I mean, there is so much, there is so much that we can do together.
Can I ask one question real quick?
I may need that firepower.
Can I ask one question, Congressman?
Yes, sir.
So the senator just said that he had an agenda. We dealt with it. It got really you felt it in 24 hours.
Right.
We want to flex this. We please give us an assignment right now. And also, I want to say this. Your blazer, I like the shoulders on your blazer.
I appreciate this. That's a good observation. This is a custom joint. I appreciate it.
I can notice it. It looks bespoke. Thank you for that.
Thank you. Okay, I appreciate that. I appreciate you got a good eye, man. You got a great eye.
No, I see your collar game is good too. You're almost.
I see you.
No, I see you.
I need a dash piece though.
I got you. I see you spending money now. So let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Before you answer this, can you and the senator run for president and vice president together? Could we get that going?
Eddie Milton, man. I'm a big fan of Eddie Melton's. I'm black and Muslim. As soon as you said that, man, I thought I saw a red beam on my suit. You know what I mean? So
you do have a red. You have something red on your lapel.
yeah. That's my member tag. But we'll see what the future holds. I'm in my lane right now, and you and I have talked offline about some of these things. So I know Eddie was running for governor, and I would have loved to have seen him run for Congress too. But who knows what the future holds?
Are you saying? Wait. Are you saying the senator should run for Congress?
Well,
Senator, are you still on the phone? Are you still there? Senator.
The congressional races now, so we may have missed the mark for now, but I think Eddie has a bright future, man. I'm a big fan of his, and he represents Gary well, which is 2 hours away from me.
He's about that
He's
action.
closer to Chicago. he's like how Newark is to New York.
Right.
You know, he's right there in Chicago. So I'm in Indianapolis, but we see each other occasionally, man. I'm just proud of what the brother's doing, man. I got a lot of love up in Gary, man. I put in a lot of work back in the day up in Gary when Eddie was younger, man. So I got love up in Gary, man.
Appreciate it.
Good, man.
So
Hey, let me just jump in for a minute because y'all hit some topics, and out of respect, you know, we got some powerful brothers. We got the bishop, we got Andre, we got, you know, the senators, and I just want to bring y'all the perspective of the brothers, you know, like me, brothers in the street from the hood. A lot of brothers that's been falsely accused. A lot of brothers that's been locked up for the same type of shit that's happening now, coming out to the light, like the Central Park thing. And you know, a lot of us that did a lot of time behind that, right? And it's a lot of us that's really tired of the police brutality. And if you see these young guys now, when they protest, they breaking car windows, and in a minute they're gonna start shooting back. It's a lot of brothers that's just like, okay, we did the marching, we did the talking, we did everything. It's like only thing they seem like they really gonna respect is the power. They don't do that to the Russians because they know they got firepower. They don't do that to the Chinese because they know they got firepower. You know, we like one of the only races that been trying to march, trying to do it, you know, playing the chess game so we don't have to put our lives at risk. But maybe that's why we're not getting nowhere. You know what I mean? Like Malcolm X was on it back in the days, but he never really got too far with it because Malcolm X, you know, Martin Luther King really led the way. But I just know there's a lot of brothers that's tired of being abused and falsely accused.
Stokely Carmichael was about that action too.
Now, if that wasn't on film, that guy probably went to jail and did some time behind that. Innocent guy, and it's a lot of us brothers that's been in a predicament. Like you just said, you was arrested and had all these charges trumped up on you. They on you. For what reason? I don't understand. They could lock you up, and next time you get in the precinct, next thing you know, you got all these charges, and it ain't true. And if you ain't got the lawyers or the right people behind you for that politics, you know, that push, you gonna just yeah. You know what I mean? And it's like, you know, some brothers is like, you know, we dying in massive numbers. You know what I mean? It's like we at war.
Right.
So why not fight for a cause? Maybe we'll get better results because we're not getting the results. Hey. We had a Zoom the other day with my man Todd, and he said something that hit me and it stuck with me. He said that when Rodney King got beat, remember that? And then burnt LA down, right? He mentioned something, I don't remember the exact term, but he said it's a symptom. It's like a symptom that we have where we getting so used to it now that we don't even react to it. Like when that happened to Rodney King, we burned it down. Every time it happened, we should have been burning it down. So they can realize they keep killing us, it's going to burn down. Like now it's happening so much, we see it. You know, he's screaming, I can't breathe. All of us heard this before, but have it on videotape. You know what I mean? And it's just like, you know, I'm speaking for a lot of the brothers because I be talking to a lot of brothers and everybody is talking revolution. Everybody talking when we going to stop putting up with this shit. We're going to take it to the next level.
Hey, Daniel, can I say one thing?
Put some insight on that.
Can I say one thing? And can I just say one thing? This environment is different than any environment in the past, right? It makes no sense for nobody to be outside, right? It seems like the police have been particularly brazen about being abusive, even with cameras on. And what I'm telling the younger dudes is, right now, if you go outside, you're a target. Number one, if you're not abiding by the rules of masks and everything else, you can actually have a police pull you over while you're walking. And it doesn't make wait, I'm not saying it's not. Fuck the law. None of us have lived by it to survive. Right? So we can't be convenient about the law. We have to talk about logic. it is not convenient for us for the next year and a half until there's a vaccine that's safe to be outside. How do we deal with this? Because it's a smart time to deal with it without being outside. The senator and the bishop and the principals and me, we made change without being outside, without being violent, and without having to be in front of a policeman. We safely made change. So what we have to learn from that is that the reason why I have a senator and a congressman on the phone, and I asked a specific question, legally put a hit on somebody, so the hitters, the bishop, will make mincemeat out of him by tomorrow. And that's legal firepower. The principals will make mincemeat out of him tomorrow. I will make sure that my platform will showcase our bullets of love safely and be effective by tomorrow. We have power and we can be safe. We have to be smart. This is the reason why I'm not asking the congressman and the senator about today. I'm like, bro, what are we doing for the next 10 years? When do you want to be president so we can plant the seed now? Congressman, tell me, just we want to flex muscle. Just tell us who you want. Just give us a hit.
And I will.
Do it today. I want you to see the bishop and how vicious he is. He's vicious.
I've seen clips of him.
No, you don't understand. No, bro, we about that action over here. We your Murder Inc. legal.
I want broad daylight, no ski.
Yeah, that's the bishop. That's the bishop. That's the bishop.
But you know what? To answer.
The bishop is your hitter.
OG's question, because Bishop made some important points, as did you. When I got arrested, that was the first time I got arrested. That was probably the 20th time I had been on a police car. But that was the same year Rodney King was beaten and it was caught on tape. And enough was enough. But I worry, to your point, Dane, that one, people respect power, but if you have white supremacy at the root of some of these race soldiers' actions, then the more violently we respond,
Congressman,
rationalize them saying, see,
Congressman, I'm at a point with our intelligence, with the people I got in this room, is black supremacy.
Listen, the psychology of white supremacy has been, to Bishop's point, has been so damaging, especially when you back it up with religion, telling us that we're the cursed seed of Ham. That's why we have dark skin, wide noses, thick lips, when actually the opposite is true. And so I think that, one, we have to deal with leveraging our economic and political power. And I think if we could leverage our economic and political power and shut things down, because right now we are in the age of calling people out, canceling people. And so, to your point, if we could do it through a social media platform and Dame Dad Studios, I think that we'll get the same result. The fact that you had the activist community come out against those 4 officers and have the mayor have them resign within 24 hours, I think it speaks to the time.
So, Congressman, put something on somebody's head right now. Who you want? Let's flex. Who you call somebody out? The senator called somebody out. We got Adam. Call somebody out. Please let us flex our power for you.
We can start with whoever was of the fraternal order of the police who called you outside of who you are as an American. We can start right then and there. Because what I'm not going to do, Senator, I'm not going to allow anyone out American. You see, I've been a U.S. soldier. My father raised me to be a proud American. I'm proud.
That's right.
Look, you can only get me here. I come from rape. I come from abuse.
Come on.
This is my land. I ain't got nowhere to go back to. I worked here. But the thing is, I'm not going to allow anyone to out-American me. If they're going to act like a gang, then we got to call them out like a gang, okay? But to be murdered in broad daylight, I'm not going to allow you to call yourself an American, and I believe a true Americans would have rescued that brother. We got to call Nazis, even if they're wearing blue suits. And the thing is, but we can start with that. I'm not going to allow someone to call you outside of the true American you are. And if they accuse you because you are defending an innocent American,
yes,
was brutalized on camera, brutalized. An American was brutalized by a bunch of Nazis. No, man, give us his name. You don't go right then and there, because there's something wrong with the fraternal order police. They protect murderers and criminals, and then they tell us don't snitch. They don't snitch. They don't snitch. They don't cross the blue line. We need to call them out. And let me tell you, I'm not gonna lie to you. Yo, we got the backing of the Ruach HaKodesh. I got the backing of the name above every name. No name from Europe. I ain't coming with no European name. I'm coming with a heavenly name. I'm bypassing what that slavery. You know, I'm a historian in my own right. So we call on the name above every name. You see what I'm saying? But what's the laws? You know? And the second, I'm telling you, we're going to bring change. We're going to bring change, because we have to come back to, if you're supposed to be serving and protecting, then how come when it comes to me, you feel threatened? Your first thing is not to serve and protect me. Your first thing is to defend your life. And everybody knows they give black people superhero power. That's why they're afraid of a 9-year-old. They're so afraid of a 9-year-old that they got to shoot that 9-year-old before they question, say, oh, that's a toy gun. No, we got this. We got this.
Hey, Congressman.
Yes, sir.
Can we talk? Can we set up a Zoom with the Black Caucus?
The Congressional Black Caucus?
Yes.
We can get some members on there, no doubt.
When?
I mean, there are like 52 of us now, so it's going to be hard to get everybody.
I don't need everybody. Anybody.
Okay. Done. We'll reach out to some of their staffers. I need to see. I think I want to get. I'll reach out to some of the East Coast cats and talk to some of the New York cats. I'll reach out to Bobby Rush. He's a former Black Panther. In fact, when the police raided the house and shot up the house and killed, it wasn't Cleaver. They killed.
Was any of these Black Panthers on my wall?
Yeah, they killed. My man at the bottom,
Rocky, come here for a second.
When he was killed, Bobby Rush had just left the house. He's a congressman now. He's the only man in history to have beaten Barack Obama in a race.
Wow. I would love to meet him.
Absolutely. Bobby Rush just introduced that bill, HR 6666, which people were talking about. It was kind of misunderstood. I mean, the HR number didn't help. But I'll talk to Bobby Rush. I'll try to get.
What state is he? What state is he from?
He's from Illinois. He's in Chicago.
Okay.
I'll talk to. I'll see if Hakeem can do it. I was just talking to Hakeem and Turi Naughton from Power. They're working on something in Brooklyn. I introduced you to Hakeem at the Black Caucus. He represents Brooklyn.
Right.
I'll talk to some more people too. I'll see if Maxine is busy.
Because
we'll make it happen.
Because as well as the bishop, we have 70 black principals from all over the country. So anytime you need an audience with them, and they all doing things individually and humbly, anytime. I just think we should all. But there's nobody you want us to make an example out of?
Without question, but
give me a name. Give us a name. Give the bishop a name. Give the bishop a name.
I'm not going to say it in front of 70 people right now.
All right. Let's talk offline.
Hey, Mr. Dash, just text it to me. Senator can text it to you. This way, hey, we had nothing come back to Senator Eddie, I mean, hey, we good, man. We good.
Yeah. Hey, fellas, well, listen, no disrespect. I heard everything y'all said, right? Mm-hmm. And but me personally, a lot of talk is a lot of talk. I want some action. So we don't have to, I'm not saying let's go to war, none of that.
Right.
But how about if we, hit them where it hurt? And we know where it hurt in their pockets, right? So why we don't try to start something where we can pool our money, spend our money with us. You know, start giving them that paper. You know, it's different forms of action. It's different ways to hurt them. You know, we don't have to go that route, but I really want to see us in my lifetime, you know, make some real powerful efforts to make some real, you know what I mean, type of like resolution, like some type of, you know, I want to see some difference. I want to see shit change. And I know that pocket, hitting them in the pocket, you know, that'll hurt them too. So maybe we can start working on spending our money with each other, or stop spending our money with all these, you know, these people that's not really doing nothing for our people and these causes that we having. We could put that money toward, you know, just making things a little better for us or something, you know?
Now that's a beautiful point that OG Daniel mentions, because there are a lot of, we should probably start focusing on the companies that have received stimulus money, or those companies that have. I just met with organized labor yesterday on a Zoom call, and some of the workers that are being laid off work for companies that have $2, $3, $4 billion in reserves, but they're still laying off employees. And many of these companies are getting some of these dollars that we just did on this bill. So one of the things that we could do is threaten to boycott some of these companies that we patronize so much, that are laying off employees, frontline workers, but they're sitting on billions of dollars in reserves. That could be a good point for us, given that we can't really move out and go door to door and get in the streets like that. We could do it virtually. Some of the big companies that we support, even unknowingly, who are getting some of this money, but they're laying off workers who are making minimum wage. That'd be a good starting point until we get our rhythm and get that movement up, and we can leverage it to other things as we go down and really cook up the heat before the election. That'll be a big piece.
Hey, Congressman and Senator, my question is this. It seems like we're like-minded, right?
No doubt.
And is there a way, because for some reason my internet zapped out when you got deep. And I heard you talking about putting together a party. Is there a way that just like-minded people like us could just come together as a group, so that when people know they're doing something wrong, this group right here, with principals, senators, bishops, gangsters, artists, that their opinions mean something? How do we organize that? So this, because Daniel said something, he's right. Guys like us need action immediately. We don't like to worry. We like to deal with our beefs. And we understand the artillery it is to have bishops, senators, and congressmen, and people that are real and intelligent and principals all on one sheet of paper. How do we organize that? And how do we
We're doing it right now. We're doing it right now, Dan.
How do we make it official?
It is official. How many people do we have on the call right now? 23?
Well, I got my live on right now. It's about 40. It's about 50.
We're doing it right now. All we have to do is just expand it and bring in more politicians, more entrepreneurs, more gangsters, more directors, more producers, more angel investors. I think we have it right now. This is the nucleus right now. This is the part that's going to be in the movie right now.
I think it's spot on, Congressman. I think it's two parts to it as well. So you find out what stakeholders you need at the table. Everybody he's listed. The action part, the low-hanging fruit, is what OG did in terms of the financial aspect. Like, how do you organize some type of structured boycott? Some type of way people feel it on national, maybe even on a global level. How do you do it state by state by state by state? Pull the trigger. We're not spending
Does that mean everybody else is feeling it?
I think so.
of your resources from a quote unquote like a Walmart or a Target, whatever the case may be. I think that's an example of two stories coming together, making a strong impact on a global and national level. You get all these stakeholders, and you have an initiative where anybody can participate. Anybody can not go to Starbucks. I'm using them as an example, right? And what is it, $2 billion, the black dollar are worth in terms of spending money, spending dollars? Come on, they're going to feel it. So what does that structure look like? I don't know. I think that's a conversation that you got people at the table that make us to say, this is how we should do it.
Bro.
But I do congressman on terms of you need a lot of table that bring different skill sets and resources and connections and relationships so it starts to permeate throughout our diaspora.
Well, that's the reason why I was saying let's get with the Black Caucus so they know that we exist. You know, like I look at COVID like, you know, I see how things can be contagious. You know, so if we do something like this, make it contagious, I just feel like we can make a difference. And also, this is a party that has a television network. You know what I mean?
I think, that's what I say. It's your boy Righteous. You know, I'm Haitian, you know. And as a Haitian and as a black man, you know, I'm proud to say that I'm happy that we, you know, defeated our slave masters. You know, and even watching the video and seeing how the brother got killed with the knees on him for 4 minutes, it hurt. When I watched the protest, I was rooting on the people to throw more. I'm like, man, he should have been hit the police car with a brick. I'm not making it up, you know. I'm a minister. I'm telling you, it hit me. I felt a certain type of way because it's like it keep on happening. It's like the more we protest, the more they smack us in the face and equip the people that do the charge. It's like, all right, they want to protest, they want to act like they're in control. This is what we're going to do. You know, we're going to dismiss their case. You know, so it's like we got to find a new way to protest. You know, like.
So can I ask a quick question, Congressman and Senator? What I saw was when white people were bothered at the fact they couldn't make money, it was all right for them to walk into 7-Eleven with a fire, like with a bomb. Like, does that mean that, you know, like I just went and took a test for a license to protect myself? Should we really be protecting ourselves legally?
I think it's your constitutional right. The Second Amendment says the right to bear arms. I think that's important. But you know,
my question is, if I would have seen the police killing a black man and I got a legal gun, could I say, yo, back up off of him? Can I do that?
Now you got a case. Nope, you can't. You got a case. That's threatening a police officer. In some municipalities, they'll charge you with battery on a police officer. It just depends. So now you got a.
But what about self-defense, citizens arrest? The thing is that language is important. Yeah. And then we have to remember that blacks and browns are hit first economically. This whole unemployment thing and coronavirus, our economy gets hit first. So we have to take our strategies to a whole new level. And that's the whole thing. Right now, in this social age, we have access to people if we have the right message. Right now, America is in need of a hero. Black, brown, white, doesn't make a difference. America needs a hero. But we have to recognize that the old America does not work. We can't constantly keep going forward based on slave owners and slave holders' laws. We have laws that these people made while they were slave owners. we should be in pursuit of a more perfect union. We're nowhere near a more perfect union. But we need to take that clause and build a more perfect union. Right now, what hip hop has done, hip hop has brought different cultures together. That's one thing that hip hop did that other people weren't able to do. Okay? So the thing is, we have to have a message and we have to have the correct language. Right now, we can't risk bringing greater harms to our communities by our communities being hurt more economically by our anger. We need to own the things that's in our community, and once we own the things that's in our community, we will have something invested in our communities. Very, very, very important. So the language is very important. It's very important how we fight. Right now, there's a lot of people who want us to fight on violence because that gives them the right to be the murderers that they already are. So the thing is, we have to outsmart them. That's what we have to do. And there's more with us than against us. And I believe when I say more with us, I'm talking about white, I'm talking about Asian, I'm talking about black, I'm talking about Latino. That's what's so key because what's taking place is affecting so many people. You see, it's affecting so many people. And right now, cruelty is getting to such a level that people are just saying, yo, that's wrong, that's foul. And we can use that alone. We can use that. But right now, I think it's wrong that every time a police officer does something inhumane, you have the fraternal order of police protecting. We have to start calling out that process. And then, under no circumstances can the police themselves. That's not possible, and that doesn't make any type of sense, and so forth. But the language is very key. So we have to use the correct language because remember, Congressman, when you took a stand, they came at you. They tried to make you an instant criminal. They tried to say that you're trying to bring violence against police officers. Absolutely. And that's the furthest thing from the truth. I'm like this. If we got truth on our side, man, let's shove it down their necks. We're going to win. We are going to win. Hey, Mr. Dash, we don't lose. That's not in our vocabulary.
Good teachers.
Check. Yeah, dang. So, hey, Bank.
Yes, sir.
Bank is a producer that worked with me from the Rockefeller days. Introduce yourself, Bank.
Bank now formerly used to be One Shot Deals, Humble Monster now. Like you said, I did on Blueprint, did on Dynasty album, Kanye, Double New Dress, a whole bunch of different random shit, but we go back 20 years, so I'm glad to be here.
What's your opinion of this, Bank, from a producer, a creative's point of view?
Hold on a second. Say it one more time, Dan.
What's your opinion of this from a creative's point of view?
I just think it's a slippery slope, bro, when you're dealing with, police, you know what I'm saying? They do what they want, we do what we can at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, I was like thinking to myself, if you was in that guy's situation and you had the muscle to get out of that, and you got to do it off and end up maybe hurting the officer, you wouldn't be called a survivor, you'd be called a cop killer or a cop, assaulting cop. See what I'm saying? So it's like, it would never make the situation like the outcome would never be this guy was justified in what he was doing. We will always be demonized for protecting ourselves. So how do you get around that is my question. You know what I'm saying? Who's the judge? Who's the moral compass for that? You know what I'm saying?
I think it's a very good question, but in this case, I'm sorry. To me, I was looking for a hero. I was looking for someone to physically remove that cop. I was looking for that.
That's when the guns come out.
That's when the guns come out, but this is not the time for a massacre. This is not the time for a massacre. That right there, that's goes back to what OG Daniel was saying. But I was looking for a hero. But I'm tired of it. I'm tired. I'm tired to the point I'm not going to allow that to take place in my presence. If I see an un-American thug murder an innocent American, I have the right and authority to rescue. I cannot sit by idle and watch somebody murder a human being in front of my eyes. I can't do that. One of the things I do, I motivate people with speech. I believe the most powerful words are words. But it's time for every American to admit we become complicit when we sit back and we'll allow lynchings to take place right in front of our eyes. It comes a time, if somebody's going to be filming, film the whole thing. But somebody needs to rescue the innocent now. And that's the message that has to come forth too. The message that has to come forth is that Americans cannot stand by idle and allow so-called thugs and criminals, Nazis, to murder innocent Americans in broad daylight. It's not going to take place. And I believe we have that power. I believe we have that moral power. I believe that. And then we need to start telling stories. We need to start making movies. We need to start making movies about neighborhoods organizing against terrorists.
Somebody just did that. Him, his wife, and his kid is dead now.
Okay, let's take it.
Somebody like recently, somebody just did a super movie about this whole where we at right now, and he didn't even get a chance to even see it.
Okay, let's take it from that point of view. Let's go back to what Righteous Ron was saying. It's time for some Black Americans to be prepared to lay down their lives. Otherwise, we ain't ever going to be free. That's why we're not respected now. This ain't nothing but the same old Jim Crow slave stuff. Okay? We need to Haitian up. Okay? We need to Haitian up. Okay? It's like, let's stop reading about Nat Turner and let's become Nat Turner. What they don't talk about Nat Turner and what they don't teach about Nat Turner is that he said the Holy Spirit told him to kill his master. He said the Heavenly Father told him to kill his master. That's who I serve. I serve an Elohim who wants me free. And it's a crime for another man to enslave me. And it's a crime for another man's laws to enslave me. But as long as we constantly sitting back, it's like, hey, if we do something, they're going to kill us. Or maybe it's time for us to lay down our lives.
So, Bishop, Nat Turner and the way he defended himself was justified based on his resources. Based on where we're at now, the evolved place we're at, how do we get just as powerful as bullets, but turning that into love with all the resources that we have now? How do we hit them hard like physical bullets without having to kill or break the law?
I believe we hit them with the truth and we hit them with the narrative. We hit them with white privilege and white supremacy. White privilege and white supremacy comes from the King James Version Bible. We got to go to the core, okay? And once you go to the core, now when you go to the core, you have a lot of people feel uncomfortable with that. But what people have to understand, that first of all, the King James Version is from 1611. Okay, the first King James Version Bible that exists didn't even have the name Jesus in it.
And he was Roman.
And what people don't talk about is that the king and queen of England, they believe that they are the 13th tribe. You heard about the black Israelites? Well, they the white Israelites. You know, and one of their coat of their arms is Yod Hey Weh. That's the name of the Heavenly Father. They put that in the coat of their arms. That's because they believe they've received their rule and their authority from the Heavenly Father. The problem comes in, how can you pray to a Hebrew when you hate Hebrews? How can you say that a Hebrew is the King of Kings and the Adonai of Adonais, and yet you hate Hebrews? You hate black faces. There ain't no continent called Middle East. There ain't no continent called Middle East. They invented Middle East, to strip the Hebrews of Africa and bring in a debate. I believe you hit them with truth. I believe when you hit them in truth, that's Jim Lucas. What we did with Jim Lucas, we went on his Facebook page and we said your pastor supports you. We said your church supports you. We said your religion supports you. We put so much pressure on him, he had to shut down his Facebook page. Pastor Kelvin went on his wall and went down, all up and down, and told him, your businesses support this. And then we found out what businesses he was doing in Jersey. We found out exactly what, so he had to put himself down. But that's what power is. Power is controlling the narrative. Controlling the narrative. Hey, when we look at the scriptures, you're always talking about a small crew that brought change. Whether that crew was Gideon's small crew, Moshe's small crew, you always see this. One of the highest forms of Judaism. You know, in Judaism, you can't go to heaven unless you remember you were a slave. You have to remember that you once was enslaved. One of their highest holy days is Passover. Passover, you got to remember that one time you were a slave. You see, we remember we're a slave, we look at it as a negative. No, you have to be reminded of that, to remember how great you are. To remember how great you are and what you're called to do. I believe in controlling the narrative, and I believe in controlling the narrative, we will win the majority.
Hey, Christopher, you know, your father always used to say this. He used to say, strike while it's hot. Right? This is the perfect time to strike. Because we are always more united when something evil happens to us. One, it shows that we already got a good heart, you know? And a movement always starts with saying, the last movement that started was Black Lives Matter. I think that happened because of Trayvon. Now this is the new movement. When I was watching the video, what I realized was even though we was acting violence and slamming stuff at the police car, you ain't see leadership. You ain't see nobody directing the energy or directing the ground. You know? So it's like seeing that taking place right now, everybody have an expectation. You know, white people got expectations, black people got expectations, any and everybody that got a good heart have an expectation to stop this, or to bring a change to this. All we gotta do is control the narrative. And like Bishop said, it started with a small group, and we are talking about it right now.
Yeah, I think a lot of brothers are scared to take that lead point, because you know they're gonna murder you.
A lot of brothers are scared, and a lot of brothers is not.
But we, at this moment, it's all about Zoom. We in the house. It's a different day. We can fight different. We just have to be smart.
I think Black Wall Street was the most genius shit we ever did.
Yeah, but that was 100 years ago, bro. We have to be the difference between. Yo, did you see the difference between the uniforms now for the astronauts and the last time they went to space? It better be different. It was 100 years ago. But being that we haven't seen anything like it in 100 years, it's going to look amazing to us. No one's seen nothing like we're about to do in 100 years. What is it going to look like? What is it going to look like when we do what no one's done in 100 years since Black Wall Street?
I think also what Bink is saying, and I think what a lot of people have to understand, and this is another area that people have been mistaught. Another area where people have mistaught is that majority of black slaves, they learned a trade. They had a trade. And what produced Black Wall Street was black slaves built the White House, they built Washington, D.C. We have to understand that these was tradesmen. So the reason that Black Wall Street was burnt down is because we were completely independent. We built our own houses, we had our own banks, we had everything. It was organized. Another thing people have to remember is it was also called the Red Summer, because it wasn't just Black Wall Street. It was every successful black neighborhood. And nobody made a movie about that. Mr. Dash, no one has truly made a movie about it. It just didn't take place one place. It took place all over America. That's why it's called the Red Summer. Everyone needs to look it up. It's called the Red Summer. The problem was that you had these free black people who were independent because they were skilled. They were skilled tradesmen and women. Thomas Jefferson, black slaves, built the University of Virginia, built his furniture, built his house, built everything. And that's what we have to incorporate. We can incorporate this. All Latin America, all Africa, Central America, South America, the Caribbean, certain parts of Europe. It's the narrative. It's the narrative, and we can control it.
And we have a network to promote it. We have a network to showcase it tastefully.
Yes. The most key thing is believing in yourself. Once you believe in yourself, you become unstoppable. Once you believe you have influence, that first influence begins, I can change my own life. Once you believe you can change your own life, then you believe you can change other people's lives. You believe it. The thing that I'm of a great concern right now is my 2 degrees is in finance and economics. I used to work on Wall Street too and have my own business. My concern is economically, what is taking place, you usually won't see it until 6 months or a year from now. So the thing is right now, the people I know, we are the first people let go. We're the first people let go because we're usually the last hired. So the thing is right now, there's a whole economic thing. Understand that right now, coronavirus, the narrative has changed. It's been changed to it as the black and brown disease. That's why you see so many Trump people walking around with no mask, because they're changing the narrative to it's a black and brown disease. That's where the narrative is being turned around. Now, because that narrative is being turned around, now it's like we shouldn't lose our jobs over black and brown people. We shouldn't lose our living over black and brown people. Once again, it's about the narrative.
A congressman, what statement do you think Trump is making by not wearing a mask?
I think he's defiant. I think a part of his appeal, which is strategic, and a lot of that is his constitution, is that he's going against the rules, he's against the system, and even though he's a part of the wealthy 1%, he knows that his strongest base of support, they resent government, they resent the system. Many of them are states' rights people, and they believe in states' rights, they believe in Second Amendment rights, and he's saying this system for the past 50 years has been screwing you. After integration, now they're bringing in immigrants, so we got to make America great again. And the part of that is, I'm not going to allow these Democrats who are made up of women, who are made up of blacks, Latinos, Asian Pacific Islanders, Muslims, tell me what to do. So if you're with me, don't wear your mask. And I've even found, I was talking to some of my colleagues today when I was back in the district and going to some restaurants, a lot of people didn't have on their masks.
So let me ask you a question, Congressman. Yeah. You know his narrative. Why isn't anybody from our side promoting his narrative before he does, so it doesn't feel like he's being so abrasive and shocking? Why don't we take his shock away from him?
Well, we need more strategists like you and marketeers like you who understand the art of warfare. Donald Trump is not a dumb person.
Well, he doesn't have dumb people around him.
He doesn't, but I think now he's not a policy one. He's not an Obama. He's not a Clinton. He's not whoever you think has an in-depth policy perspective. He has a high EQ. He's able to read people.
Congressman.
That's why he can hurl insults, because he's good at reading people.
And me observing people like Obama, people like Trump, they have 10 people around them that tell them what to do. And with that said,
they have people that advise them. Right.
They tell, he has this emotion, he's reactive. It's clear that he has a therapist around him. Someone that knows triggers.
Sure.
We all know what he has around him. I've been up against his lawyers. If we all know what he's doing, why can't we just call out what he's doing before he does it?
That's a good strategy. You kind of want to take the fangs out of what he's doing, but he's unpredictable. And
he's not unpredictable. He's completely predictable.
He's unpredictable.
When he says China, and when he says certain racist things, that's strategic he wants that addressed because he's serving his consumer.
He's solidifying his base in the midst of all.
But why don't we call it out before he does it? We all know what race he's been disrespecting women, black people, and Chinese people, because he knows that consumer in certain swing states will win. In the Pennsylvania and the Florida, it will win. Why are we not strategically knowing to get at Florida and Pennsylvania right now?
We
We know what he's thinking.
We have strategists, we have experts, we have pollsters. We're actually leading right now Donald Trump. But as you know, November is not too far away, but it's also a long time away, and the American people can be very fickle.
Listen, that shit he just did with
right crisis to move them up.
Congressman, that shit he just did with Twitter was so obvious that Twitter has to say something. Why don't you just take down his Twitter? It's not fair.
American shit.
Yeah, you know, well,
what's Donald Trump without Twitter?
Twitter is not. Twitter isn't run by Congress, and so we impeached him. We actually impeached him.
But we forgot about that already. Why are we not still promoting that?
Didn't make it past the Senate.
It doesn't matter. We knew it wasn't going to make it past the Senate.
Once it failed, we were up against a pandemic, and now you have unemployment over 14%, over 30 million people as of last Friday filed for unemployment.
But Congressman, he dismantled everything Obama did to fight pandemic. He didn't buy the test. He's fucked this whole shit up. We look at
exactly. So what is he doing now? Talking about how Obama.
What are we doing now? But what are we doing now?
Amongst ourselves.
But the bottom line is he swings. We don't swing.
Right now, what Trump does, he has two narratives. Okay, and this is the two narratives, and this is the debate. One narrative is you can't trust the media. So if you can't trust the media, you have to trust him. So what does his supporters say? His supporters say, don't trust the media. What do we say? We say, you worship Trump. So he controls the narrative. That's what it's very important to have the narrative. So when Trump tells his people don't trust the media, if the media says anything, it doesn't make a difference if it's true or whatever. They're not listening to him. So he's made them choose. You either choose me or the media. Everybody who listens to Trump, I don't care who you are, you know the man is a liar. Okay? The man is a liar. When he opens his mouth, he lies. I don't even think the Antichrist.
It doesn't matter. They like when he lies.
Yes, they like when he lies. So once again, it's the narrative. And that's what comes the narrative that I stick to. Trump speaks to old America. He speaks to old America. The average age of a white person in America, is 57.
Bishop, I think it's become clear. Let's just go for the goal. Let's just get him out of here.
Well, I hate to say this. I don't believe Trump is the problem. I believe it's the white supremacy. He's riding on the wave of white supremacy.
Well, let's put a hit on Trump.
You know him publicly, and he's only doing this to ride the wave. He's riding the wave, and that's what we have to do. We have to come up against the undercurrent, and I believe you come up against the undercurrent when you clearly show the racism of the fraternal order police.
Congressman,
you can tell me that you can serve and protect me when I can prove you're a white supremacist. It's not possible.
Congressman, logically, if he doesn't win the next election, does he go to jail?
A lot remains to be seen. I mean, where do you start with the charges? So it would depend on who would pursue the charges against him, and it would depend on the charges that are put up before him. I think that he has done so much irreparable damage to our country. It is criminal, but also I think one of the silver linings that should come out of this debacle that we call the Trump presidency is that we really have to be actively engaged about the kind of representation we want to have in the White House. Does it mean another Donald Trump? Does it mean another business person who's over $1 billion who is only used to talking to himself and those who work for him? Or is it
Trump or
Biden
Biden
in the political space who's used to negotiating?
Is Trump or Biden?
It could be Joe Biden. I like Joe Biden. Is Joe Biden perfect? No, but I think that Joe Biden is what we have in the moment.
But if Trump loses this election, are charges going to be put in front of him? Period.
I can't say that right now. I think what is paramount is that we have to make sure he doesn't get reelected. That's paramount.
How you do that?
But I also think, I think we make a mistake. This aspirations on a politician, on a faith leader, on a business person, on any human being, you're setting yourself up for failure and disappointment. This is about coalition building. It's not about one single. We have a Messiah and Savior complex as one. So when we put all of our trust on one person and they let us down, we're through with the game. It's about, we have a coalition of people. We got the streets, we got the suites, we got executives, we have politicians on this call. This is unprecedented. I think that this call is a spark of something powerful, but we have to harness it. We have to accept that we're going to have disagreements. In fact, I think the nature of a true friendship is the fact that you don't agree on everything all the time. You don't have to fall out about it.
5,000%.
Absolutely.
So what's next steps? After this call, what's next steps?
Listen, my brothers and sisters.
No, wait, Daniel. Hold on.
Hold on a second. Let me just say this.
Yeah.
Right now, I don't think no politician, no presidential election, none of that is going to change things. They've been having different presidents. We had a black president. That ain't changed our conditions, man. What I'm saying is we need some action. Listen, brother, we are out here crying. My brothers and sisters, we all are crying for action. Like when Farrakhan did that Million Man March, look how everybody came out. People walked out to Washington from miles away. We really stepped up because we was hurting. We was really.
I was there. I spoke.
And we need that type of action. Like no politician, none of that's going to help us, bro. We need to really organize, step up, put our own selves in position, and pool our money, resources, and our brotherhood. It ain't a black thing, it ain't a white thing.
Perspective.
But you know what?
Wait, real quick.
You need them all. You need them all, Brother Daniel. You need politicians. You need business people. When you drive down the street and you stop at a stoplight, or you drive farther down the street and you hit a pothole, who do you call to fix it? A city councilor, an alderman, a politician? Whenever you go to the BMV to renew your license, that is the result of legislation. So it's clear.
Wait. Can I just say one thing? Can I say one thing? Perspective-wise, the world we're living in is different, right? So when Daniel said something that was key, Million Man March, physically, a million people had to go to Washington. Congressman, we could do a Million Man March digitally and no one has to go outside. No one's in danger. This is the time This is the time we can fight from our house safely. How do we leverage that power? Like, Congressman, why can't we why can't we do a Million Man? Nicolette! My battery died. Come on. This is important, please. Come here. The battery died. There's nothing plugged up. Come on. We're saying something. Hurry up, please. See, I think I was on to something. Every time I'm on to something, shit be conking up. That's some bullshit. I think I'm on to something. We on to something, not me. We all are. How does this happen? I hate shit like this. How did we let a battery die? And nobody's with me. This is more important than anything. The battery died on a computer. Raquel. And we was rolling and nobody was here. I hate that type of shit. But anyway, you see we doing productive shit, right? From the house. What's that?
I'm logged in on your phone.
Oh, nice.
To help you live your life.
Nice. Let's put this
But
back
and
on.
to help protect your rights. So your taxpayers are being represented through the governmental apparatus. So the question becomes, which government are you talking about? Are you talking about local government, state government, or federal government? And so I think to your point about humanity, I think humanity is so broad, but I think if we can focus on our communities, I think we'll start seeing change. When I see my friends Linda Sarsour and Tamika Mallory and my son putting pressure on, I mean, they travel across the country, putting pressure on local governments, that's a part of it. But it comes with coalition building. The Million Man March was successful because you had the nation working with the churches, working with different groups, NAACP, Urban League, coming together. As I said in the beginning, it's about coalition building. There's no, we need the streets. You need the church. You need the mosque. You need all these people. You need business people. It's about coalition building. No group can do it alone.
I want to say something, right?
Yes, sir.
From my perspective, as I'm listening to you speak and everybody else speak, what I noticed that was very important that Bishop said was it's built on a foundation that was built for us not to build on, right? So, for example, right, I never understood how. So one of the questions that Dane asked was, would Donald Trump get locked up if he's not president? Right? So I started reflecting. He became president, right, without having the majority votes. Right? So it's like me watching a football game and the Giants win by 16 and the Patriots lose by 10, and then everybody like, no, we're gonna celebrate the Patriots. Win. And so when I'm looking at it from that perspective, it let me know that we are really not in a position. They're not really allowing us to be in a position to bring forth that type of change we want. Because of the popularity, if all of us, if the majority of America don't want President Trump to be president and we vote against him in the electoral vote, that little group of people get to decide that he remain president, isn't that a statement that's being said about how they value our votes?
Yeah, and that's a phenomenal point. So it brings up the age-long question, should we abolish the Electoral College?
Definitely.
And right, and so some of the framers did not want the election to go to some popular charismatic figure, and the majority of the people would fall for this person and vote for him because they felt like the majority of the masses were too ignorant to be able to make informed decisions about who represents them. Also, it was created to break up this free slave that started getting, before Reconstruction, political power, where you had scores of senators and representatives in Congress who were black. And so we have to decide on how we want to go moving forward as it relates to the Electoral College and as it relates to the popular vote. And so you have other states who aren't as populous as in New York or California, who oftentimes feel represented because they don't have the same amount of people. They may have 2 or 3 million people in the state going up against a New York state that has maybe 30 million people, or California that may have 50 million people. And so we have to really have an honest conversation about, do we want to go with an electoral college system, or do we want to move to just a singular popular vote? That's a great point.
We are the only democracy in the world. The only democracy in the world that the majority doesn't win. The only. Nowhere else in the world is it called majority vote. The majority in a democracy wins. So what we have to understand is, once again, we have a system that's been established by elite slave owners.
Talk to him, Bishop. Talk to him.
We have a system that has been set up by an elite slave owners. And that's what has to be torn down. And so once you begin to teach that, where people can understand, because what you just said, Righteous Ron, you just said your vote don't count. Your vote don't count. The vote that counts is these elitist system that exists, these hidden people that make the vote. Okay? That has to be abolished. Because what they're telling us to our face, you don't live in democracy. You do not live in a democracy. Yep.
Republic, right?
It's being hit directly. And that's what I always hit the core. Hey, you would give, hey look, this is why they were taking a knee. Trump came out with a whole narrative, all right? Calling people sons of a bitches and all that stuff, right? Saying that these people were taking a knee for no reason. Once again, the issue is still alive. This is why people were taking a knee, because it still has been unresolved. And even while taking a knee, they told us it didn't exist. We have to constantly recognize their narrative. Their narrative is what you just said didn't happen. If someone videotapes you stealing something in a grocery store and they bring it to a court of law, you get locked up. If you videotape a police officer, they're going to tell you, you don't know what happened. You don't know what happened before the video. You don't know
have all the facts.
After the video. Yeah,
you don't have all the facts.
All the facts. But when they videotape you, you going down.
Done deal. So I'm anti-government myself. I've never had any faith in the government system from day one. So that's just my honesty. I've never voted, none of that. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, like I said, it's more of a positioning for business things. Like a lot of my friends are really, successful with getting contracting bids and stuff like that through government. But anything that has to do with saving a hospital or closing down a boys club, it's like it's on deaf ears. You know what I'm saying? Like they taking all the stuff from the kids, the intramural program, the breakfast program, saying it's not enough money for shit in school. Like shit that we grew up on is like the money isn't there all of a sudden. But you can pull $1 trillion out your ass and send a rocket across the goddamn, you know what I'm saying, whenever you get ready. You know what I'm saying? So it's like we keep accepting all that, but at the end of the day, it's like it's simple math, bro. Like at the end, they hate us. I think they tolerate us like insects. You know what I'm saying? Like the same way I see a fly on the wall, I gotta kill them before I sit down. They look at me the same way. Like I agitate me having confidence in my shoulders back, and like you ain't gonna talk to me like that. That shit aggravates me. So I just really feel like once we understand that and really deal with that, it's like you're not gonna put all your faith in a vote anyway. Because bro, Selma was 50 years ago. I'm 48. We can reach back and touch that. So how far have we really come? To be honest, you know what I'm saying? Let's be real here.
Well,
nothing has changed.
The thing is, we have too many black billionaires who have sold into the monopoly game. We have the resources. It's just that they become the new slave owners. Okay? They become the new slave owners, and they forgot how we help them, how we motivate them. And now it's about them hiring more people not like us, because now they got to prove they're not preferring one group over another. So all that happened on our backs. We have enough black billionaires and Latino billionaires, Asian billionaires, to bring change. Okay? But people won't bring change when they believe they're above. You see? They believe they're above. And that's what I believe the only thing that's going to bring healing to our hoods and neighborhoods, we have to bring back in the different groups. In other words, you need every neighborhood to live. They need those different groups, all groups, intellectuals, business owners, so forth. In other words, to have a successful neighborhood, you need people in the neighborhood that got skin in the game. You see, you need skin in the game, and that's one of the things that we have to teach. We have to teach how we can circulate our money, how our monies can circulate. Right now, my sister's very good. My sister's very good at everything she does. But something I will not, and my family will not allow my sister to do, my sister's not running for politics until she's first a billionaire. Why? Because if you don't have the economic power, you're not going to last. If you do not have, people got to remember about MLK. Before he died, he was organizing poor people together. All poor people he was organizing together. That's what he was doing. And that's the whole thing. Once you change the narrative, because as long as the narrative is us versus them, you know, hey, we can change it. I'm telling you. And it's how we write it. It's how we perform it. And that's where the artistic form is greatly needed. It's the artistic form that is greatly needed because art has been used so often. Like, look at all of Arnold Schwarzenegger's movies. The black person is always the bad guy. Always. Okay? We created the machines. You know, all of his movies, we the traitors. You know, every Total Recall, it was a black taxi driver. That is not done by mistake. That is done on purpose.
He did Songkai, he did all of them. You crazy. You been around for a minute now, huh? Thanks for coming. Yeah, I still haven't heard that. Why did I know he did Dixie also?
So where do we go from here, fellas, ladies, gentlemen? Sleep on it, right?
No, I'm joking. I'm just saying. I'm saying I've been here. Well, I've been zooming since for a while, you know. But the thing is, I'm ready, you know. And what I like about us, we don't mind being invisible. We don't mind taking the back seat. We'll do all the hard work because the whole thing is this. Once you prove your worth and people know what you can do, you know, they know that. Senator Eddie was on that phone call, and Mr. Dash was on that phone call. You know, I remember that phone call. I was close to the side. I remember that. But what I know is when I hook up with you brothers, we get things done. That's what we do. And what we do, y'all squad, we like assignments. Because we like to show people what we can do. Because eventually, all this is going to be turned into businesses. You know, research and development business. You know, political businesses. You know, first we want to prove ourselves what we can do. You see what I'm saying? And once we do that, and you show people you're doing something with passion and with heart, man, people can feel that. When people can feel that, that's real estate. That's real estate they will invest in. Hey, I teach you all the time. There's no difference between gang mentality and a U.S. soldier. A U.S. soldier, you have to glorify a soldier's death. You glorify a soldier's death because that's what soldiers do. Soldiers die. That's why gang members, they have to glorify the death of their member. The CIA does it, the police does it, because that's what creates loyalty. That your life was not in vain. What you put your blood on wasn't in vain. And that's the whole thing. You see, what a lot of people don't know is that the street culture is just the same as the CIA. It's just as the Navy SEALs. It's the same culture. The thing is, it's the narrative, which the narrative changed and said, what you do is stupid, but on a different level, oh, you get awards. You get awards. You're the highest American. Oh, you're the highest American. You can go kill somebody for your nation. Kill somebody for your flag. We're going to give you ribbons. You see, we're going to give you ribbons. But in the same token, now you got so many veterans who are sitting back and watching another army in blue murder people. That's not good, especially when we've been trained to be a soldier. We've been trained. We have too many black, Latino, Asian, white veterans. Okay, we cannot constantly stand by idle and watch this with no hope because it's not going to last. But we like assignments. So, Congressman, if you got an assignment for us, we want to prove what we can do.
I appreciate that. And also understand, everyone in here is a soldier, but everyone in here is a general. You know.
No doubt.
One question. Why we don't have no Caucasian brothers on the panel talking about you know these facts, these rights? Like, why we gotta fight alone? Why they not fighting with us? Why we don't have one of them as a leader just as well? I mean, right is right. You know what I mean? Human rights, everybody have them.
That's a brilliant thought. Having allies, that's brilliant. Yeah.
I mean, we not racist. This is not a racist Zoom or none of that.
Right.
Just brothers and sisters that's looking to put things together and make a difference. And there's a lot of good Chinese, white, all nationalities. There's a lot of them. But I'm just wondering why we don't have no strong white men standing next to us like we stand next to them.
Well, OG Daniel, about my ministry, I got Latinos, Europeans, Caribbean, blacks, and that's the whole thing.
What is the they're putting together they want like the most powerful, influential people in different cultures to be a part of. What time of day it takes me, OG? He won't even be there at 6 o'clock, nigga. It's 8:30.
Somebody not muted.
Just to get in there.
But the thing is, but the thing is, OG Daniel, we have Latinos, we got Dominicans, Puerto Ricans, Cubans, Haitians. When you bring so many different people from different cultures together, Greeks, and people see that. You see what I'm saying? I speak very boldly, unapologetically, that the name Jesus was invented. The name Jesus doesn't come from anything Greek or Hebrew. The name Jesus doesn't appear. Nobody named Jesus ever, no Jewish person named their son Jesus today. I hit very hard, and it wins all ethnic groups. Because when you come from a basis of truth, and people are like, yo, you can't debate that. And that's how come I have so much value in truth. I have so much value in truth. And that's become, I believe, one of the part of the negatives of the black community is the black church. If the black church keep pushing white lies that people know is white lies, Christmas, Easter, Santa Claus, these are all lies, okay? If you keep pushing lies, you lose credibility. It doesn't make a difference who you are. You lose credibility. And that's what come I have the highest, utmost respect for truth, and I believe truth will bring people together. And we're going to do it. I'm not going to pass this America down to my daughters. I'm not going to do it. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I'm bringing change.
I'm really ready to do the same thing, man. Before I leave, make some difference, man. Want to make differences,
So, we've been talking for hours, and we continue to talk. The next conversation should be the plan of action. And we'll talk offline, and I appreciate everybody. Again, the reason why we're all on this Zoom is to look at a TV show for entertainment. One would think it's a distraction, the bullets, the guns, but look how much it made us focus. And that's the whole intent of what I'm doing, what we're doing together. Being talented, having fun, evolving safely from our house. And when we get together in a controlled environment. And everything we do is about fighting for other people, because we're all good. If we have the ability to have a computer, a house, a family, we're good. But we're worried about other people other than ourselves. Whether about our children, whether about the people that, might not be able to fight like we will, we're worried. The reason why we're successful is because we have the ability to love others before we love ourselves. We're not worried about us. We're all living good. We just worry about the people that can't defend themselves. And that's the reason why love always protects us. Respect always protects us. And regardless to whether we have gray hair, platinum, black hair, we're young, we evolved, we're all like-minded. We just want to help others, and we just want to win. The bishop said a lot. Narrative. Daniel said a lot. My OG. Action. The congressman and the senator said a lot. Organize and do it where it can be effective. We need to figure that out. And as we see, our action is almost like drug dealing. We fucking got the benefit. We got to feel how good it feels to win in 24 hours. When I win that quick, then I want more. I want a bigger challenge. I want a bigger fish. I'm inspired. I want to be creative. I want to look good. But I want to fight for a cause. And it's love. And we have a network. We have intelligent people. We have spiritual strength. We have energy. Focus it. And let's make a difference. Let's win. No struggle. It doesn't have to be that sacrifice of old. We're evolved. It's a mental thing. It's not physical. That's all I wanted to say, and thank you for coming through. Whoever wants to close it out, close it out. Thank you to everybody.
Thank you.
Well said, my brother. Well said, Dame. And that's one thing Dame always say. I'm surprised you ain't say it tonight, but that should really be sticking with me, bro. You helped me change my whole attitude. When he always say this to me, it just really makes me feel like he's right. And it's basically when he say he tired of fighting each other. Like, I'm tired of fighting each other. I'm tired of fighting my own. I'm tired of fighting, brothers and sisters just like me, struggling. You know what I mean? I'm tired of fighting, period. But if we're going to fight, I think we should come together and fight for something worthwhile, something worth fighting for. Like Bishop said, I'm not trying to leave my kids with this type of world, these type of problems still. It's our generation that should make the change. We shouldn't leave it to the next generation, because we don't know if they're going to even get to see what we seen, be able to do what we doing. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's a powerful panel. I definitely want to say, to everybody, man, be safe, stay safe. This was a beautiful conversation. I learned a lot. And it's always a pleasure, man. It's always a pleasure to build, real.
No doubt.
I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Understand our power. Look at what the future could look like if we organize, and nothing we do goes in vain. Everything we do has to yield. And I love y'all. I love everybody.
Love you too, man.
Love you too, brother.
Love you too. Peace.
Love you too. Thank you, Mr. Dad.
How we blessed.
Everyone.
Love y'all. How we blessed.
Love y'all. Shalom.
Love you.
Love y'all. Shalom.
Stay tuned next week. We got that new episode coming out. So make sure everybody stay tuned. Watch that new Dress to Kill, episode 3. But y'all can jump on and check out 1 and 2 right now. Dame Dash Studios. Everybody, we got a network for people like us that's, thinking the way we think and like the things that we like. So let's utilize it. Let's use it. We starting at the bottom, but we heading to the top. It's like everything else. You got to start from the foundation. Y'all know that. So tune in. I can't wait to see that joint next week, Dane.
It might be like 2 weeks, but we'll have it done.
Okay, whenever it is. And I see Nicolette over there. You real quiet, Nicolette.
Hey.
Yeah, we see you. And Rocky, I can't wait for Rocky episode.
She in there cooking right now. You know what she doing.
That vegan life, huh?
Absolutely. Vegetarian, veganish. All right, y'all. I love y'all.
Love you. Peace.
Thanks.
Thank you. What should I say? How many people? All right. Yeah. I don't know what I'm saying either. I just took it. Okay, there we go. So thank you, everybody. Like I said, every second has to yield. And I hope everybody got something out of this that they can apply. Regardless, you get it at Dame Dash Studios. I'm edit this shit up nice. And I appreciate everybody and your support. Let's win together. Fight for love. That's what I'm talking about. If you bought anything else, get the fuck out of here. Love y'all.